In animation, a dozen concentric bands in various colors and textures swirl behind the words Ability Summit.
I'm excited to talk about the progress we're making in our Experiences and Devices team on accessibility, focusing specifically on Microsoft 365 Copilot. Copilot brings the latest AI to your data in our productivity tools. It's our next step on the journey to build with inclusive design and create experiences that delight users with disabilities. And as AI evolves, routine and repetitive tasks will be efficiently automated, freeing us all up to focus on our most important and impactful work. We can only achieve this potential of AI by building accessible experiences with the expertise of disabled users. And AI really does let us take that next big step. Right from the start, we heard that the disability-focused customers, that Copilot is having an impact in helping people be more productive at work. It assists with note-taking, transcription of meetings, email compositions, and much more that can enhance everybody's productivity, most notably those people with disabilities. And so
a video call labeled First Adopters
on an early research study for feedback on Copilot. And they looked at over 17 companies and 300 employees where they identified as neurodivergent or disabled and asked them, did they feel more productive? And
aka.ms/Copilot study.
The early version of Copilot see it as a helpful assistive technology, and we're just getting started. Microsoft 365 Copilot is truly the UI for AI. The standardized adoption of it is incredibly exciting. From Dow to Disney, they're turning to Microsoft's AI to transform their business in this exciting era ahead. Nearly 70% of Fortune 500 companies use Copilot already in the last quarter. And if you think about it, it's taken about the same time for Microsoft 365 Copilot to reach 1 million users as it did Instagram, which is pretty amazing to us for a business tool where the adoption cycles are a little longer. And so now let's explore what generative AI means for productivity and how it's helping everyone skill up, increasing their productivity and creativity. I'd like to bring up some of my colleagues and friends to give us a glimpse in their daily habits, workflows, and work hacks with AI and how it impacts accessibility for them. So first, I'm excited to join Christina Mallon. Christina, it's
at
great
a demo
to have
desk.
you here today. Thank you so much. Can you tell us a bit more about your role?
Sure. I'm Christina Mallon. I lead inclusive design here at Microsoft. And what I do in my role is I work with your team and many other teams to ensure that our experiences are accessible and usable for people with disabilities. I myself have a disability. I have dual arm paralysis due to ALS. So Copilot has been life-changing for me and for my family because it gives so much time back.
Yeah, that's so exciting. It is, as you said, designing for everyone with AI has really made such a difference. And I'd love to learn more about how it's impacting you and your work.
Yeah, I mean, one simple PowerPoint could be a week because it's so hard for me to interface with my computer. I use voice access, which I'll show you today, but that's not as fast as keyboarding. So being able to use something like Narrative Builder has, one of the best inventions I have seen in a while.
I can't imagine the hours it would take to interface with the computer, even via voice, to describe every slide. So maybe you can show us how you do it the new way with Copilot.
Yes, I would love to. Okay. So I'm going to show click blank presentation.
Using voice control.
Show numbers. Click 15. Click create a new presentation.
Media pulled into PowerPoint.
Click 1.
Different tags at areas of the screen with numbers.
Create a presentation on disability data sets.
Copilot.
Period. The first section should talk about the importance of disability data sets. Period. The second section should talk about what happens when disability isn't included in data sets in AI.
Once the text appears in
The third
Copilot,
section
she
is to
says
talk
period.
about the Speech Accessibility Project. So I'm going to reference a file here. Click Reference a File. Show numbers. Click 7.
Numbers populate around
Click
the
the
screen.
importance of disability data in AI models.
The file is selected. More numbers pop
Click
up.
11.
The next arrow.
So as you can see here, it really can reference files, which is amazing because I've already built a lot of this out in Word.
And lets you reuse it.
Response is generating.
And then, this can save me, I would say, probably 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, and it's come back with the outline structure where you can tweak it a little bit. But let's make the whole deck.
Oh my God.
See how long that takes.
Let's see how the magic happens. Show numbers.
They populate around the screen.
Click Generate Slides. Yeah, this is just one of the most magical things, just knowing that I'm not going to have to pull an all-nighter or work multiple days on a presentation, because this really does the things I kind of don't want to do, which is like the technical aspects of PowerPoint, which is really, really great. And I've used this to present to different teams across Microsoft, and they're really impressed by the imagery and the aesthetics of the presentation that it ends up building.
Yeah, that's amazing. You can see right in line
A slide deck.
Relevant images, and I can't imagine hours, days to do this otherwise.
And we built a lot of PowerPoints at Microsoft.
Yes.
Okay, so it looks good to me, but one thing I want to check is the accessibility of it. As we talked about earlier on, the accessibility community is huge. 1 in 4 people have a disability. So let's make sure that this is accessible. And one of the great things about Narrative Builder, most of it's really accessible. So I'm going to use voice access to show you how to do this. Show numbers.
They populate around the screen.
Click Review. Click Check Accessibility. Click 2. And as you see here, it's a really accessible deck.
Yeah.
Makes it so
An
much
accessible
easier. We wanna
assistant
be
on the
inclusive,
side.
right?
Right. Well, it's good that our assistive technology is creating accessible decks.
Yes.
But these kind of features help anybody making any deck have it be accessible, right?
Yeah, it's amazing, the accessibility features that we have in all of our products at
Yeah.
Microsoft. So thanks for letting me show you this. It's been so exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. And, of course, we've done accessibility work in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Windows, and the Mac, and the web. And now, long requested, it's coming to iOS.
Yes.
And so, Christina, thanks so much for sharing your experiences.
Thanks for having me, and thank you for building and with inclusive design in mind.
Oh, it's our privilege. Okay, next, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt Filipenko, thank you for joining us here at the Ability Summit. Love to see what you do with Microsoft 365.
Yeah, so
Add another demo computer.
Been at Microsoft for a little while. I work in the office engineering team, and I was diagnosed at 19 with a inherited retinal disease called Stargardt. So my central vision loss, and use accessible tech all day, every day, thrive on it.
His shirt says,
couple
I can
things that
see,
you
but I
mentioned
can't.
earlier
Hashtag,
were,
it's complicated.
Outlook summaries, I use those every single day.
Yeah.
And then in addition, Teams meeting recap is huge for me. I'm in a lot of big meetings sometimes, and with Stargardt, I have to lean forward, take notes, and it's super nerving when know my forehead's just smashing the camera and everybody has to watch it. So it's like super nice having, I can sit back and engage.
We are thrilled that people aren't going to have to take time taking notes, and we'll always get reliable notes for any meeting.
Yeah.
So we've gotten so much feedback on that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing stuff. So next up, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to jump in. We have Excel up. What I've got done, I've got 2 features here. The dark mode, we just set it up in Excel. Prior to that, with light sensitivity and Stargardt, it was really hard for me to get into an Excel and work around. Now that I can turn it to dark mode, it makes it more accessible to me. In addition, I would always get lost when I was in Excel. So the focus cell option under view now allows me to know exactly like a crosshair right to where my cell
Yeah,
has
it's not
focus.
no longer a glaring white grid.
Yeah, yeah. It's like super nice.
An enlarged
and
cursor
then,
as well.
Next up here, the other scenario that I have to kind of work through is figuring
Opening
out
Word.
which slide or which PowerPoint presentation, which document, how to open it. And prior to this next feature, I would have to open it, summarize it, read it, close it, and do that rinse and repeat 10, 15 times.
Yeah.
Now I can simply just come in here and I click on the App Start Summary. I'm going to zoom in with magnifier. Windows Plus will launch magnifier for you. And it gives me the summary of the content without even opening the file. So it's a really slick
That's neat.
feature. I can then say, yep, this is the one I wanted. I can open the file.
I can, just going back and forth, finding the right document, all of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, unfortunately, the title itself is not always enough to figure out if it's the right file.
Yeah.
So that summary really comes in handy.
Yep, massively helpful.
Yeah.
Next is around content editing. Like I collaborate with a ton of people and it's really hard to figure out who changed what and when. And what I can do next is I'm going to jump into Copilot here, magnify in. I'm going to use a feature called Catch Me Up.
Typing in the prompt box. Catch me up on this document.
So it's going to do a catch me
The
up
response
on
is
the document.
generating.
And as you say, we're constantly changing files, that
Yeah.
comments and edits and so forth.
So it's able to give me real quick responses on the document and what's changed recently.
Wow,
A summary.
Super, super fast.
it's a big time saver.
Yeah.
So I see you got a chart in that document. I
Yeah.
can imagine that is difficult to read. It's really, really tiny, the
Yep.
font in it.
Yeah, the image description here is the next. It's called Describe Image will be the feature.
Yeah.
What's really cool is when I click on the image and then I click on the Copilot, I can click Describe Image. Right now it's generating a description of the image for me. But in addition, when it opens up here in a second, it's going to show the description. Then I can save that description as the alt text for the image automatically.
To make the document.
And then even
Yeah.
better, I can ask it questions about the same image so I can totally dig in and get
Yeah,
the most out of
getting
it.
back to this idea of creating accessible content for everyone. Yeah.
It completely unblocks me. I mean, it's amazing. And then two more features. The last feature that I want to show, before I jump to this narrator demo, that demo of Describe Image is handled within the corporate tenant
Yeah.
for that customer. So from a privacy perspective, the charts, the images are super nice.
Yeah.
Next up, we'll launch Windows Narrator with Control Windows Enter.
House, search images, scan. Forest House Yosukova Archello Forest
With
House.
Caps Control D.
Analyzing image.
Within Microsoft
Pane.
Bing.
Analyzing image. Scan off. Generating description.
Matt, is it common that
Still
the alt
generating
text usually isn't
description.
added?
Yeah. Yep.
Still generating description. Generating description.
A
Generating
return saying,
description.
I'm sorry,
Generating
but I cannot
description.
tell.
Generating
There it goes.
description.
Yeah.
The image depicts a picturesque, quaint cottage with a sloping roof.
So that's
Exiting narrator.
I'll exit narrator there.
Yeah.
What's really cool about that is that it automatically sets that up and runs it all local with the Copilot PC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The description was
It's all run
correct.
locally. Last up, I'm going to jump to my next
My
demo.
favorite product.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yep. My next demo here. So I've got Word open.
Yeah.
This is the last one, the Grand Slam. So what I do a lot is I have a 43-inch monitor at home. I like to have a good canvas of a workspace to work on. So what I do is I'm going to grab Word. I'm going to slide it to the side, snap it. I'm going to grab Teams. Right now I've got Teams split screen. I still want more space for Word.
Sure.
What I can do is I can push Teams all the way over. It reflows the whole UX, and I can work just like I would work in Teams on a full screen, just with that space, and then fully collaborate inside Word.
Yeah, it's a great example of inclusive design because we
sure.
hear from a lot of people, they want teams to sort of calm down a little bit when they're focused on content and for it to just focus on the chat experience. And so we're excited to bring Reflow out to everybody.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Christina.
Hey,
And
Jeff.
It's wonderful to see not just your experiences using the product, but thank you both for all the feedback you've given us in the engineering team. It really is a privilege to get to build software, and you've inspired us to build better products for everyone. Thank you all as well out there. As Jenny said, please share your feedback with us on all the product. Tell us what you like and tell us where you think we could do better. Hopefully you see that over the last few years, we've evolved our products, like Teams in particular, based on everybody's feedback. So looking ahead, Copilot for Microsoft 365, our goal is to continue to set the standard for a modern, inclusive workplace. I've been on this journey for some time, adding captions and sign language to Teams, as Jenny shared, and developing accessible interaction experiences in Office and SharePoint. And it's great to look back and see how much the products have changed. But I would like you to all dream much bigger with AI. Looking ahead, these generative AI technologies are going to transform our products so we can help you be far more productive, so you can learn and collaborate and create and really make everyone's work more enjoyable and fulfilling. We have new capabilities that we haven't even scratched the surface on how they can transform the products. So again, thank you so much for joining us at the Ability Summit, and keep the feedback and ideas coming.
In animation, colorful undulating bands frame the words, "Thank you for participating, and there's more to explore." Discover other resources in the top navigation bar.